Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Divinity Originals sind 2
Imagine having the gall to want 100 generations gazing at your own face.
und wir werden mal hier weiter diese Insel erkunden und schauen, ob man da irgendwie hochkommt. Aber ich sehe da nichts. Da ist halt auf jeden Fall eine Kiste drauf. Aber ich sehe keinen Ansatz, da hochzukommen. Da käme man halt hoch, aber da kommt man nicht rüber. Vielleicht gibt es da später irgendeinen unterirdischen Weg. Und vielleicht wollen die mich auch einfach nur verarschen. Gut, ja, dann, da waren wir. Gehen wir mal hier weiter. Dadurch, dass die Kamera so nah am Boden ist, sieht man halt auch nicht viel. Man bekommt keine wirklich gute Übersicht, finde ich. Da ist die Katze. The Escape. Aha. Gucken wir mal, was die Quest sagt. The Escape. We have arrived in Fort Joy's Sorcerer Ghetto. Perhaps some people around here will know of a way to escape. We should look around. Vissa.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself. They were so close, almost within arm's reach.
Mutter that you saw some craven bullies on a power trip.
Whatever do you mean by that?
So you've seen Divinity wielded as a weapon before. It's not a good look.
The man shudders with the revulsion of a zealot, eyes rolling with disbelief.
You take that back. You take it. Well, it's not my job. The Hammer will change your attitude soon enough. You'll see.
Na, wollen wir sehen.
The Divine Order's all that stands between you and a Void Woken's throat. If you're against the Order, sir, you're a traitor to us all. The Divine Order's all that stands.
Na, was, wenn er das auszieht? Undead, I will strike you down, foul creature. Oh. Okay, das ist wohl nicht so. Finden die wohl nicht so gut. Dann lade ich nochmal. Die will ich jetzt nicht alle umbringen.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself. They were so close, almost within arm's reach.
Ask who he means.
You don't know them? Oh, remarkable. Bishop Alexander is the son of the Divine, the leader of the Divine Order. And Dallas, the Hammer, is his right hand. They are all that stand between you, me, and the Void. And they were right here just a moment ago, attending to some business.
So you feel anything but protected here. Not and stay silent. Bishop Alexander and Dallas. You add their names to a list in your head. Ask what sort of business they were attending to.
Have a look yourself, sir. I think the traitor is still there, in a somewhat changed condition. The bishop's much taller than I'd imagined from the paintings. And the Hammer is so much younger.
Willst du Herrn handeln? Der hat Gold. Wares.
Where is he?
Mhm. Wenn ich jetzt, sagen wir mal,
I told him at noon exactly.
das hier habe ich gelesen.
Didn't I?
Lass uns nochmal bei Gelegenheit dann... So, da add to wares. Marking wares. Mark item as wares to sell them in one batch. Hold left shift and press left mouse button to add an item in your inventory to mark as wares. Ja, ist ja tatsächlich wie in Avernum und so weiter. Dann wäre es natürlich schön, wenn man die auch wegfiltern könnte. Weiß ich nicht, ob das irgendeinen Sinn hat. Die kann man wegmachen. Cooking Pot. Na, lassen wir mal. Die ganzen Knives wird man wahrscheinlich nicht mehr brauchen. Aber wie sieht's denn aus mit dem... Was hat der für eine Waffe? Busted Two-Hander. Und der hat einen Makeshift Wand. Da bis 3 Fire. Da ist hier Poison. Kann also alles weg. Da haben wir auch einen Long Branch. Aber gut, alles sinnlos.
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
Mhm.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, they were so close, almost within arm's reach.
Tell the man you were close enough to watch them murder one of their own.
A traitor cannot be murdered. A traitor can only receive their due.
Say that everyone is a traitor to someone.
The Divine Order's all that stands between everything you see and a void Woken's throat. Any traitor to them is a traitor to us all. Believe it or don't. The Divine Order doesn't need our loyalty. They'll save us in spite of ourselves.
Klar. So. Der hat ja sowieso nur die 17.
Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
Accept. The star presents the trader's attitude towards you. The higher the attitude, the better the prices. You can raise the trader's attitude by gifting items or gold. Aha. An dem werden wir nichts giften. Magister Hansa.
Saw him, didn't you? The Hammer and Alexander. They gave that scaly traitor what for, they did.
Ask him what he's talking about. Muse, the lizard is at peace now, you hope. Ask him what he's talking about. Say you saw it indeed, and it was a gruesome spectacle. Curl your lip and say he should keep his prejudices to himself. Ask him what he's talking about.
It's quite the scene. The bishop himself with his right hand laid down the law on a traitor among our own ranks. One of the last lizard magisters left. Burst into quite the bloody mess, she did.
Ask what more he knows about Bishop Alexander and Dallas.
Bishop's a son of the dead divine. Don't know when we'll get a new one, but Alexander's looking after us in the meantime all the same. And the Hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no guff and don't stand for no idling. Earned that name for a reason, she did.
Ask when you'll be allowed to leave this place.
When you give up the darkness that's inside you. Take your fault, it's there, mind. But it's there all the same. They're working on a cure for you even now. Got some good leads, so I hear. You can trust Dallas to take care of it. And once you're cured, your life will start again.
Ask how he came to be a guard here.
During the time of Lucian, of course. Who wouldn't join up with God himself? It was all glory, all goodness. When we lost him, well, it only made sense to see his will through.
Ask him how he can know the will of the divine.
Can't for certain, but I reckon when God himself gives his life to protect you, you don't waste the gift. You protect it with everything you've got. So that's what we do.
Wonder aloud if the divine really would have approved of a place like Fort Joy.
Lucian gave his life to protect Rivellon. If we let the Voidwoken get to it now, well, we'd have lost him for nothing. Fort Joy ain't no summer camp. No one said it were, but it's the best we've got to protect the realm.
Change the subject. Take your leave.
Saw him, didn't you? The Hammer and Alexander. They gave that scaly traitor what for, they did.
Say you only wanted to thank the Magister for his service.
Proud to serve for the good of humankind. Without us, Rivellon's off to the void in a handbasket, in the crook of a Voidwoken's claw.
Okay.
Did
There.
you see him? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. Can't be pretty.
Say you're not sure who she means.
The Geists, dummy. The Hammer and Alexander had two in tow just a moment ago. Ugh. Thought you lot would be interested in a thing like that.
Remark in admiration that these guys are equipped with interesting contraptions. You'd love a set of those claws for yourself. Say you don't need to know all the Divine Order sorrows by name. Notice something in her tone and ask why she thinks you'd be especially interested in Geists.
Ah, no reason. Settle in, eh? A Magister will come and find you when they're ready for you. Could be a while, though. High Priest is up to his hood and sinners these days.
Come on,
Where are you, darling?
Great. Jeth.
A fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. Day and night she hollers after that child. Yeah, that Farah. You gotta cut that out. What's happened to you?
Say that if he doesn't like it, perhaps he should help her.
Aye, she needs help, but none that I can give. Mad as a cuckoo, that one, and twice as loud.
Say she seems perfectly sane if distraught. Ask why he thinks she's mad.
What else do you call hollering after a ghost? That child of hers she's shouting after's been dead and buried a month over. Killed by a Voidwoken back in our own village. Never even stepped foot in Fort Joy. And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
Every mother's nightmare. We were informed by a sorcerer named Jeth that Amma isn't missing. She was killed in a Voidwoken attack some time ago.
Irma? Where are you, darling? Please. Please. You must help me. No one here will help me. Not one of these bastards. A child is missing.
Ask what you
baby.
can do to help.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. She's been missing for days now, and not a single soul will help me look for her. Irma's her name. She's about as high as your hip. Black of hair, a quiet child. Not prone to wandering off. I'm sick with worry. Completely sick. And no one in this damn camp will lift a finger to help me find her.
Ask what she knows about her daughter's disappearance.
I last saw her just here, near 3 days ago. She was playing with her little doll, and I was washing out her tunic. I turned from her for one moment, and she was gone. Left her doll behind, too. It's so unlike her.
Wonder why no one else in the camp will help her look.
This place turns people cold. Cold and wicked. That fellow Jeth over there speaks unutterable evil, but I can't move away from him. What if Irma comes back and I'm not here?
Ask to have a closer look at the doll.
Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her, Mummy says this is for her little chicken, and it's time to come home. That's what I call her, my little chicken.
She soaks up a steady stream of tears with her shirt sleeve.
She ought to come with you then. She ought to follow you back to me.
Say you'll do your best and bid her goodbye for
You
now.
are an angel. Truly you are.
Mhm. Das ist wahrscheinlich das Mädchen, was wir oben dann gesehen haben. We have spoken to a sorcerer called Farah, who is frantically looking for a missing daughter, Irma. Aha, wir haben jetzt hier auf jeden Fall noch Kisten.
I don't think I ain't watching.
I told him at noon exactly.
Mummy's right here.
Didn't I?
Where are you?
Aha. Crafty weapons. The Schiff. Arrow shaft.
He
Reach.
hasn't changed a bit.
Find a sharp piece of metal. Wrap one end in cloth. Now you have a shift. You are no longer unarmed. Auto sword.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
Naja.
I told him at noon exactly. Didn't I?
Mummy's right here.
Ach, der hat jetzt das Geld in den Rucksack gepackt. Okay. Naja, okay. Da ist nix. Da kommen wir nicht ran. Moment, dann können wir doch das. Genau. Danke.
Irma? Where are you, darling?
You there? I'm looking for an inmate. He wears a large bronze ring with a dragon stamped into it. Name of Migo. Have you seen him?
Apologize and say you haven't. Ask why she's looking for him.
None of your business, inmate. Find me if you hear of a Migo. Otherwise, don't waste my time.
The Murderous Geist. Die hat auch was zu verkaufen.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
Die sind schon zu viel wert. 12. Wie viel hatte die? 10. Hoppla. Was? Okay. So, Flup. Accept. End. Brother Buyer.
Greetings, child. I find myself in your so-called divine lands, yet I feel his absence deep in my heart all the same.
Say he looks about your age and thank him not to call you a child. Say these are no more lands than his.
You may feel like an inmate here, but you and your captors are the same stuff, in race and customs, if not heart. You'll see what a difference that can make.
Aha, und was sind wir mit dem reden?
Greetings, child. Frightful far for a moment, yeah? Visited your ancient empire myself a long time ago. The divine's light sure shines on your kind.
Say he looks about you and places a hand on his shoulder. His are the first gentle words you've heard in some time. Say it seems to you that shown is a better word. The divine's gone.
Troubles me to hear that. Now that the Divine has gone, our world's duller, darker than ever before. When he comes back, he'll bring a gentler world with him.
Oder auch nicht. Okay.
Send us your children.
Dann ist das wahrscheinlich für jeden Charakter individuell mit den Fähigkeiten.
A fresh face. We love fresh faces, don't we? Oh, yes, we do. Why don't you join us in a round of cards? First hands on the house.
Accept the invitation.
Chuff to you, Chief. Here are your cards. You're up first.
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs. A hard hand to beat.
Player hand.
Quite the hand, Freshie. Unfortunately, 2 is less than 5, and that's how many purples I've got. I reckon that makes me the winner. I'll be having your fee then.
Is this how this works? Smile mildly and tell him no dice. You've seen that trick before.
Just my bit of fun, Sharpie. I'm sure the Reds told you, no one gets along without paying the interment fee. So, let's make this easy. Empty your pockets.
Chuckle and say you're not known for paying your way. Tell him you're going to walk away and he's not going to stop you. Ask him for a little leniency for your group, man to man. Chuckle and say you're not known for paying your way.
Well, you've heard of it now, ain't ya? Go on then, Freshie. Turn 'em out.
Ask if he really wants to try to shake down one of the lone wolves.
Lone wolf, eh? If you lot are as fearsome as they say, how'd you let a troop of goons like the Reds get their hands on ya?
Ralvo looks you up and down.
You know what? I'm in a good mood. Take a hike, Freshie.
Sneered the brute before you. He wouldn't have lasted a night in your pack.
You hear that, mates? This cub's got claws. Let's try 'em out, shall we?
Aha. Die haben aber alle wieder eine Menge HP.
Lest the void overtake and devour us all.
Hostile Strike. Damit würden wir beide treffen. Alle 3 sogar. Und sie stehen auch direkt in Flammen. Aha. Die noch nicht. Ignition. Brennen die in Echtzeit? Nee. Das wäre ja dämlich. Ralvo. Mosquito Swarm. Immune to bleeding. You don't have enough action points. Was? Ja, Feuer.
Lest the void overtake and devour us all.
Increasing the primary attributes kostet 1 Punkt. Oder wir könnten halt noch einmal schießen. Machen wir das. Nehmen wir den. Firestorm Grenade. Das kostet 3. Target is too far. Mhm. Okay, können wir den hier noch benutzen? Ja. Naja, der hat jetzt auch nicht viele Hitpoints.
Our Father, who presideth over us all.
Ralvo. Im Brennen sind ja schon alle. Top. Da steht, kommen auch Werte raus, aber die war anscheinend noch nicht am Brennen. Hat noch einen Punkt. Ignition. Wir könnten auch einfach mal einen Trank trinken. Play dead. Mhm.
Send us your children, your supplicants.
Das tut jetzt irgendwie nix. Ah ja, okay. Playing dead. Und jetzt? Ignition.
Our Father, who presideth over us all.
Sets enemy characters around you on fire. Aha. Backstab critical.
I need aid.
Das sieht jedenfalls nicht gut für mich aus. Mhm. Gehen wir mal raus da. Und machen Pin down und steht da weiter im Feuer. Crippled blocked, okay. Ja, das wird wohl so auch nichts. Na okay, muss ich hier nochmal mit denen reden.
A fella can't hear himself. Yeah, that Farah. You gotta cut that out. Aye, she needs help, but none that I can give. What else do you... And there ain't no...
He hasn't changed.
Please. Please. Oh, bless you. Irmazan, I'm sick with worry. I last saw her just here. This place turns people... Yes.
She's so...
She ought to come with you then. You are...
Okay.
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue just to this road.
Irma?
Take all.
Darling.
Reeds. Dahin. Aha, nehmen wir mit.
Where is he? You there? Have you seen him? None of your business.
Mhm. Geh mal kurz hoch.
Greetings, child. I find myself in your so-called divine lands. Yeah. You may feel like an inmate here, but you and your captors are the same stuff. In race and customs, if not... Our Father...
Was passiert mal mit dem reden?
surrounding for an agreeable conversation, but go ahead.
Ja, müssen wir auch nochmal machen, aber...
Greetings, child. I find myself in your so-called divine lands, yet I feel his absence deep in my heart all the same.
Muse to yourself that you hope the divine rests in peace, at least.
There's no rest for the wicked. There's plenty of rest for Lucian, my friend. So we ought to beg all the harder for his return.
Na toll. Okay, reden wir mal mit dem.
Yes, by all means, let us partake in the art of conversation.
Ask the Red Prince what you should do next.
I intend to rule an empire one day, not a tiny outcropping in the sea, lording over gulls and guppy fish. To that end, I suggest we focus on the obvious. A farewell to Fort Joy and a hello to the mainland.
Say you're happy he survived the shipwreck you were in.
As am I. A prince should die of old age or on the battlefield. Anything else could be construed as weakness of character. That said, I've the distinct feeling I wasn't meant to die today, for despite your heroics, I was still cast into the water. I sank. I drowned. But there was something in the water. A voice made of air that soothed my flooding lungs. There was sudden light, warmth, life.
Express amazement. You too heard a voice as your leg tossing in the waves.
Truly, how intriguing. To hear a voice whilst drowning is a rather specific delusion to share, is it not? Still, I wonder if...
He hesitates.
Are you a religious person?
No.
I'm rather relieved to hear it. Religious persons tend to be all too self-important in their supposed humility.
Now right-click and examine a companion to check their current attitude towards you. Beware, companions who really don't like you will leave your party.
As for myself, I perform the ancient rites of prayer and ceremony with a kind of languid indulgence. After all, when one is revered by many as a living god oneself, public deprecation would be needlessly self-important as well, wouldn't you say?
Ask the prince what got him here. How is it possible for a royal to end up in Fort Joy?
There was a small incident which prompted my many rivals to move against me. Technically, they had the letter of the law on their side. Such a nuisance, the law. Quite necessary to keep the common in line, of course, but one such as myself it should exempt as a matter of course.
Disagree. No one should be exempt from the law. At least all of those who claim they should be. Reminds him he didn't answer the question.
Notice that, did you? For future reference, if I don't answer a question, it's because I don't want to.
Insist, ask him what the incident was that made him run afoul of the law in the first place. Wonder if it was a display of sauce that got him into trouble.
I hardly know you as yet. Let's leave some mystery in the relationship, shall we? We can exchange criminal records later.
Ask him to tell you more about his need to find a dreamer.
There isn't much to say, but for the fact that I simply must. It's the portent of it all. I can feel it. The revelation will be world-changing. I just know it.
Smile. Tell him he's got you all curious now. Scoff, he's a prince. He has the real castles. He shouldn't be building them in the sky. Tell him he's got you all curious now.
And justified it is too. You'll be a witness to wonders, I assure you. As certain as the sun, such is my conviction. I will be, then grow beyond being.
Tell him you'd like to go your separate ways for now and then. Take your leave. Okay, and du?
Is it not enough that you travel with me? Must you speak too? Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can find any method in it.
Ask Fane what your next move should be.
Well, I thought a brief swim in the sea, lying in the sun for a while, and maybe read a nice book. Or perhaps, and this is just a thought, we could find my mask and escape this wretched island.
You must seem very alien to Fane. Ask what he thinks of your people.
Oh, I think of them as little as possible. As much, I imagine, as you think of gadflies that buzz about you. Not that there is anything wrong with you, of course, just that you're, well, not all that impressive.
Shrug. Humans are no better or worse than any other race. They are prone to hatred and infighting, but they can come together when it's most important. Not humans are pretty bad. You're greedy, petty, and exploitative. Yeah.
That sounded dangerously close to an independent thought. How surprisingly self-aware of you. Regardless, further study will be required. In fact,
The skeleton pulls a notebook from his robes and starts scribbling. After a moment, he pauses and looks back to you.
Sorry, do carry on. Just act as you do in your natural environment. Simply pretend I'm not here. Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can find any method in it.
You're curious, as people, the tunnels, what were they like?
Ah, this is perhaps the first intelligent question you have asked. After all, one should always try to learn from one's betters.
Smirk, of course, that's what you're doing. Bite your tongue and let him continue.
My people are a race far beyond anything that exists in the world today. We seek to master the secrets of the universe. We craft wonders to last through the ages, long after your crude tools have rusted to nothing.
Ask where these wonders are now, if they were built to last so long.
I do not know. There are rumors that some have been found at the Black Pits, an oil field on Reaper's Coast. I was trying to uncover the truth when I was waylaid by these magisters. But wherever the artifacts of my people are, I will find them. We have not simply vanished into thin air.
Wonder what they look like.
There is a great variety among our people. Some are tall and lithe, others short and muscled. Some come in a variety of eye-catching colors. Others you can barely see at all. This is what makes you such an abomination, you see. You almost look exactly like every other human out there, just as every lizard looks like every other lizard. Walking through this world is as repulsively bland as staring at a wall for a century. After a while, the very sight of you disgusts me. No offense, of course.
Correct him. He keeps using the present tense when he should be using the past.
No, I should not. Not yet. Not until I know what truly befell my people. And, after all, I am still here, despite the Voidwoken's best efforts.
Change the subject. Ask Fane why he's so ignorant about the world.
Ignorant? I dare say I have a better knowledge of this world than any creature living in it. Oh, I may be missing some social mores or be unaware of what king waged which war, but why nitpick?
Observe that he doesn't seem to be a fan of history. You agree, you always did find history a little tedious. Observe that he doesn't seem to be a fan of history.
Your history is an interminably dull list of mortals that were born, achieved nothing of worth, and then died. Certainly one may have expanded his kingdom, or another invented some way of pickling fish, but what does it matter? Where will your kingdoms be in 100 years? In 1,000? They will all be dust, along with each and every one of your great heroes.
Point out that he's a scholar. Doesn't that make his job kind of pointless?
Your people and nations come and go, mayflies screaming their importance at a universe that cannot listen. But the universe is always there. The laws that govern your states change over centuries, but the laws of the world, even when my people walked this land, a dropped apple still fell to the ground. I have yet to see the mortal king that can decree all apples must fall up from their trees, or order fire to produce cold instead of heat. No, these laws stretch to infinity. Understanding them lets you understand the world. That is knowledge worth having. Everything else is arguing over who has built the prettiest sandcastle as the waves creep closer.
So, this mask he's looking for, what is it exactly?
The Mask of the Shapeshifter? In my time, it was nothing more than a novelty. A toy, really. I crafted one for my child once. She spent the day trying to convince me that she was her mother, even though the face I used looked nothing like her. Of course, now that toy could be the difference between life and... well, it makes a difference. With that mask, I can shapeshift and walk through this world looking like any other simple mortal. I could look like a lizard, a dwarf, a human, any creature whose face I can procure. It certainly makes traveling through towns easier.
Not thoughtfully. Toy or not, it could be a powerful weapon. Wonder how he feels about having to hide his true face in fear.
Fear? Please. Why would I fear these creatures? It's a practical choice, nothing more. Moving through this world is so much easier when you don't have to lecture some torch-wielding lunatics on the dangers of an open flame.
Interesting. Ask how he crafts a shapeshifting mask then, exactly.
Oh, it's quite simple. One just acquires a face, a source orb, and combines the two to make a face mask. Combining several of these single face masks along with a source orb will produce a mask of the shapeshifter. Frankly, I'm amazed everyone isn't doing it.
Suggests that maybe there aren't that many spare faces lying around.
Oh, of course there are. How many hundreds of thousands of you people have died over the years? Almost all of them seem to have been disposed of while still wearing perfectly serviceable faces. It's a terrific waste. Still, without the proper tool to remove the face from a corpse, I cannot take advantage of the many cadavers you're providing. So if you happen across anything that seems capable of ripping a face off a body, please do let me know.
Not thoughtfully. Toy or not, it could be a powerful weapon.
Trust you bloody-minded beasts to turn a child's trinket into a wicked purpose. People like you are the reason it must be recovered. I am using the mask to keep myself safe from the violence of this world. Who knows what evil it could do in the hands of some mortal witch.
Drop the topic and ask something else. Take your leave. Okay. Ja, vielleicht sollten wir dann doch nicht das ist ein Schiff, Pocket Knife, naja, wir werden sicherlich noch bessere Sachen finden, um Gesichter von Leichen abzuschneiden. Okay, zu denen gehe ich noch nicht. Oder wir probieren es nochmal, aber ich glaube, das ist ein bisschen heftig.
What of it, our father? Looky here, man. Why don't you join us in a...
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs.
Quite the hand, Freshy. Unfortunately, 2. Just my bit of fun. Well, you've heard of it. Lone wolf, eh?
Ralvo.
You know what? I'm in a good mood.
Your supplicants, you divine.
Okay. Jetzt gehe ich erstmal nach hinten und mach hier Pin Down. Cripple, blocked by physical armor. Den nehmen wir raus. Beißend. Ja, da können wir jetzt einfach abwarten, fürchte ich. Ignition macht jetzt keinen Sinn. Entturn. Der kann jetzt nicht viel tun. Könnte halt auf den einprügeln, aber... Lolala. So, warten wir hier.
I'm fading.
Your supplicants, a new divine. Our Father, who presideth over us all.
Ups. Ja, der stirbt ja durch Heilung. Habe ich übersehen. Aber das wird sowieso nichts. Ja, das macht das Ganze natürlich ein bisschen kritisch im Kampf. Das wird mir noch häufiger passieren, fürchte ich. Gucken wir mal, was wir hier unten noch haben. Oder hier oben.
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe. As she catches sight of you, recognition flashes in her terrified eyes. She drops her hands from her throat and starts hyperventilating.
Ben Mest, Ifan, Ben Mest, you killed them! You killed them! He killed them all! Murderer!
Wink and tell her you've come back to finish the job. Tell her she need not fear, nobody's given you a contract for her life.
Keep him away from me! Help! Somebody! Keep him away!
Mhm. Hallo.
Guards! Keep him away from me!
Yeah, what of it? The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Clap her on the back and ask if she's alright.
Don't touch me! You're too close. This collar, this place, it's squeezing the life from me.
Tell her you understand how she feels.
Do you? You seem fine. Don't you feel how tight this collar is? And there's nothing we can do. Nothing we can do.
Her hands move again to her throat. She seems to try to make space between her neck and the collar, but there's no space to be made.
It's getting tighter. I can hardly breathe.
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Call for help.
Shh. Quiet. Better if they don't take move. It won't budge. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Realize she just needs to calm down and grab her by the shoulders. Count slowly to 10. 1, 2, 3. Remember something you once read to grab a pouch for her to breathe into. Lay your palm on her forehead and picture soothing scenes passing from you to her. And what does?
She breathes deeply into the pouch and begins to calm.
Thank you. Ah, you. Thank you for your help earlier. I needed it. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't talked me down.
Hast du was zum Handeln? Nö.
Stay back. Stay back. Keep that monster.
Craft a weapon. Give him the axe.
Stay back.
A word of advice to the unarmed. Find a stick or a branch, tie a sharp piece of rock to one end, or do the same with a sharp piece of metal. Now you've got a simple axe. You're no longer unarmed. Was hat denn der überhaupt für... Der hat 2 von denen.
Stay back. Stay back. Keep that monster bedmast away from me.
Na gut. Laszlo.
Ho ho! Ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? They're all I got left after your buddies were through with me.
Tell the dwarf to keep his underpants, by all means. Tell him to turn out his pockets and prove it. Say you're not one of the brutes harassing people here.
That's so. You look just like 'em. But then again, I never was the best at telling your kind apart. No harm intended, of course. Oh,
Dann nehmen wir den.
Say, I don't know the ancient empire ditties. Got nothing spicy enough to keep my mind off this place for a few bars.
Red Prince, tell him that as a lizard prince, the tunes you know I use to control slave folk like himself. Such a power is not for him to know. Screw up your face trying to remember the melody of the ancient song Division, but it doesn't quite come to you.
Don't break your head vain now. Been that long since you've been home, is it? Yeah, pity. Pity.
Der?
You ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? They're all I got left after your buddies were through with me.
Tell the dwarf to keep his underpants, by all means.
Right kind of you, my friend. I've grown quite attached to him over the years. Well, almost literally in this filthy place.
Quickly, we find source so dangerous.
Kauft er was?
Come on, we may be here, but at least we're alive. And ain't it a gorgeous day to boot?
Schuhe hat er. Naja. Bedroll. Resik.
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts, and doesn't look up as you approach.
Tap him on the shoulder.
What? Oh, new, are you? Very good, very good. Make yourself at home.
Ask if he has any advice for a recent arrival.
Advice? Hold on to yourself, my friend. The fort is full of decent folks turned savage by confinement. Do not let it happen to you.
Ask if he has any goods for sale.
Goods? Ah, yes. Yes, of course. Have a look.
Aha. Armor of Frost Skillbook.
Oh, 10 bottles of mead. 1,000 bottles of dust.
Okay.
50 bottles of tears.
Resik
Make the hinges rust.
hat Hydro Sophist 1. Ist alles 1. Okay. Armor of Frost. Dann haben, was ist das hier? Salmon Pie. Hell Strike. Rain. Und Restoration. Er hat kein Geld. Ask the lizard what's in his mind.
My mind? What else, my friend? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the Divine. Why?
Ask him what he means.
We've used Source for thousands of years. We have used it to heal, to grow. How can it be that it suddenly summons these horrors from the void? And when will Alexander ascend to divinity? We cannot continue like this.
Na gut, ja, dann werde ich hier erstmal wieder einen Schnitt machen und dann werden wir beim nächsten, das war diese Tante, die da eben so abgedreht ist, oder? Ja. Dann werden wir beim nächsten Mal hier weiter erkunden und schauen, ob wir noch ja, weitere Leute anheuern können. Die anderen 2 oder 3 müssen ja auch noch hier irgendwo rumlungern. 3 müssten das noch sein. Und dann gucke ich mal, ob ich die Kämpfe auch angehen kann. Aber ich schätze, dazu wird es beim nächsten Mal noch zu früh sein. Jo, also bis zum nächsten Mal.